Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday to everybody. I hope everybody is having a nice Saturday. I certainly am. And I'm doing a vlog today. And I told you I'd do it a few days ago. And I decided to do this maybe a few weeks ago. I saw something. But other things have happened, and I just wanted to talk about this. The scenario as to why when people say they're colorblind, it makes my eye twitch. It just it just sends something off in me. And when it comes to people saying that they're colorblind, it usually doesn't come from people who are of color. I rarely, if ever, hear them say that they're colorblind. And I think this came from something about Kim Kardashian saying that she was going to raise her child colorblind and stuff. And I thought, what, huh? And stuff. So, anyway. But I wanted to say something about it because I find the term problematic and stuff. And essentially, I find it problematic because usually the people that are saying they're colorblind kind of have no dog in the fight, as they say. They kind of have nothing in the ring. They certainly have the privilege of being colorblind because nobody really notices their color, or it's not seen as detrimental for them, and stuff. And so, and I've had people I know. And all well-meaning people. I'm not saying people aren't well-meaning. I'm not saying that people are doing that to be malicious and mean. I don't think so. But I think they're just sort of ignorant of what it means when they say colorblind. I know for many people, different is a bad word. When you say different, it means bad to them. It doesn't mean different. It just means bad. And many people don't want to be different, and stuff. They want to see everybody as the same, but we're not all the same, and stuff. We're different hues, and we have various cultures, and there's differences in us. But those differences, to me, shouldn't be something that we should be running away from. What I'm always thinking is, when people talk about, colorblind, I'm thinking, well, why aren't people more aware that, that maybe it's not all bad to be different? When I was very young, my mother told me something, and it stuck with me. It still sticks with me many, many years later. And she told me, she said, you know what? You're going to have to learn how to live in this world with a lot of different people. Now, that was a very simple sentence, and I don't think how profoundly it would sort of, she would know how it would sort of make a profound effect on me, but it did make a profound effect on me and stuff. Because, yes, it's true. We are different. We're different people, and we're not going to be the same, and we're not going to do the same things. We're not going to act the same. And the thing about being different is there's good things in being different. You learn different things, and stuff, in all commonality with people. As many different people as I've known and been friends with and had in my life, and stuff. And although in many ways we're different, in one way we're all the same. We all just want to have happy lives. That's it. We all just want to have happy lives. We want to be happy people. We want to enjoy our families, our friends, whatever it is we want to do. We want to have happy lives and stuff, And so we're all maybe trying to reach that goal or going towards that in different ways. But that's what we all want. We all want peace of mind and joy in our lives and stuff like that. I am not, when I go out on the streets, when you think about colorblind, people say, oh yeah, I'm colorblind and stuff. Usually with me, the thought comes that you're probably not as colorblind as you think. Because if you were, or if you did, if you really respected that, then it wouldn't be a big deal because somebody else is different than you. You wouldn't want them to somehow to suppress their uniqueness somehow to make you feel good. Because usually when people say they're colorblind, it's most of the time it's white people. And when they say they're colorblind, what they really mean is, I want you to be like me. I want you to be, when I see you, I want to see white people. You know, when I see you, I want to see myself. When I see you, I want you to suppress the part of you that I'm uncomfortable with, you know, and stuff. I have never gone outside and gone to the grocery store or gone to the mall or gone to a restaurant and saw a white person or an Asian person or a Hispanic person and thought, you know what, they're just like, you know, they're just like me. They're in the sense that when I see them, I see another, you know, black person. I don't, you know, and stuff. And to me, it would be insulting for me somehow to tell them, I want to suppress the part of you that makes me uncomfortable, you know, and stuff. I mean, I want people to be who they are. I want people to live, you know, in a way that suits them, you know, and stuff. Not all people are the same. Not all people do the same things. I get that. I'm not saying that people are the same and stuff. I know people do. Different things. But usually, as people, we have a culture, and it's a culture that for the people that live around us, that's very much the same. And as a black person, I'm a part of black culture. There are things I know because I came from a black family. But there are also things I know because I came from the South and stuff. And I'm also part of the Southern culture, okay, and stuff. So that part of me being black and Southern is a part that makes me unique, you know, and stuff. Black people from the East Coast, although we may share some things about black culture, they have a different culture because they're East Coast people. And then people from the West Coast may have a different culture because they're West Coast people. There may be things that we find familiar about one another and stuff. And because we all live in the United States, we're all familiar with the American culture. So essentially, when people start telling me about being colorblind and all that sort of stuff, I'm thinking to myself, what is it about me and my unique self that makes you uncomfortable? What is it about me, even though I'm not, you know, particularly acting, you know, in some sort of totally opposite way of you, but there's something about me that you find uncomfortable. Now, I know how it is to be, you know, I mean, I know what it is, not really how it is, but I know what it means for you to be top dog. When you're top dog, when you have the privilege, you can sort of dictate to other people what they should be doing, you know, and stuff. You know, in the early 1900s, when immigrants came from, you know, other countries and came here, many of them just sort of assimilated into sort of the waspy culture, you know, and stuff, because, you know, hey, you're trying to make it easier, you're trying to be successful, you don't want a lot of flack, people changed their names, there was sort of a backlash against folks, foreigners coming over here and all this stuff, so you try to make it as easy as possible. And so I understand also the need for people to, you know, kind of get with the top dog, try your best to assimilate. I know what it means for Americans, you know, when we go outside this country and, you know, we're to the point that we're so arrogant that we go into other people's country and we ask them to change for us, you know, I mean, but that's what it means because we're sort of, you know, we sort of, or at least think we are, top dog. We think, well, the American culture is top dog culture, so when I come here, you need to cater to me. I shouldn't have to cater to you. You should cater to me. I want you to speak my language, and I want you to do things that are familiar with me because I don't really like what you do over here, you know, and stuff. It's not really comfortable for me, so I want you to make sure that you make me as comfortable as possible and stuff. And that, to me, is what happens when I hear people say stuff about being colorblind. You get to say that from an area of privilege, you know, and stuff. I enjoy being a black woman, and I enjoy being part of, well, some parts of black culture. Black people have contributed a lot to this, a lot to this country. And I enjoy that history and I enjoy that culture. It doesn't seem to me, it shouldn't seem to me something that people should think is foreign or is terrible. I know people don't want to be a part of stereotypes, and I know people don't want to be part of bad parts, that they see in their own culture. But really, with most things, you got to take the good with the bad and stuff. That's not something you have to participate in, but that's something that you certainly have to acknowledge. I don't try to run away from it, and I don't try to act like I don't try to act like that somehow I'm, not, there's not a part of me in black culture. But when I hear colorblind from usually white people, it just makes me bothered, because part of me is thinking that you might be actually racist and you're just trying to do it in some sort of PC way, and stuff. That's why I'm not particularly fond of that thing. But another part of me thinks, why is it that I have to assimilate into whatever you got going on? I mean, my thought is, I've assimilated, most of us have assimilated a lot. We're not unfamiliar with each other. We're not speaking different languages. People go to school together. People work together. People go out together. I'm married to someone who is white, and stuff. So at what point do I not have to, try so hard, and stuff? At what point is it just like, it's okay to be me? I mean, is it the point where I go in and start bleaching my skin or something like that, And so I wonder about where it's coming from. I can't always be sure, Like I say, I think most people are trying to just try to be politically correct, or they're trying to make sure that everybody knows that they love everybody. You know what? I can love everybody, and everybody can still uniquely be themselves and still be different. There is no way I would go up to an Hispanic person and tell them, oh, well, I want you to just douse all your uniqueness, or douse who it is that you are, or douse everything about you, and stuff, so I can feel comfortable, and, and we could just say, oh, we're all the same. I don't want to be like everybody else. I don't want to be the same. I don't want everybody to be like me, okay? I want people to be different. That gives me different experiences. That gives me different perspectives when people are different from me. No, I may not always agree with people, and no, I may not always love what people do, but it's okay for you to be different. And no, I'm not colorblind. When I see you, I see who you are, and stuff. I don't hold that against you. I don't put it as a strike mark against you. I think it's something that makes you unique and that makes you wonderful and beautiful and a contributor to this earth, and stuff. But I see it, and I'm not going to act like I don't see it, because that would just be sort of ridiculous and stupid to me, and stuff. I actually see it, and I acknowledge it, and I acknowledge you for your uniqueness, and I think it's great that you're different, and I think that sometimes it's great that we're the same, and stuff. But, I'm not going to act like I'm going to do this stuff with colorblind. We were and may be still trying to have a child. And I'm going to have a child that'll be a biracial child. But that child has, unique set. A parent that is Southern and black, and a father that's from the Pacific Northwest and of Scandinavian descent. Okay? So the kid will have all kinds of great, a great, unique kind of perspective on the world and a perspective on people. I'm not going to act like I'm going to be like, oh, I want this kid to be colorblind. I want this kid to be proud of who they are on both sides of their family, and then celebrate both those things and stuff. It's nothing for them to be ashamed of. I like it that my husband is different than I am, although we're both Americans and we have very similar backgrounds, and stuff. But there are things that are different about us too. And there are things that I introduce him to. And there are things that he introduces me to. And that we both enjoy. And he tells me about his culture and about his grandparents and about his family and about, you know, when they go and they see the Norwegian family and all this stuff. And he talks about his family that still lives in Norway and stuff. And I tell him about my family that still lives in Texas and all the stuff that we do and all the stuff that we did when I was young, you know, and stuff. And it's different stories, but it doesn't make one story more legitimate or better than the other story. It doesn't make one story one that you should be hanging on to and stuff. I want people to see me as Eugenia. Now, I'm a lot of different things. I'm not just black, and I'm not just Southern, and I'm not just a woman, and I'm not just a diabetic, and I'm not just a wife, and I'm not just a sister, and I'm not just, you know, and I'm not just a daughter, you know, and stuff. I'm a lot of different stuff. And I want people to be able to see me and be able to, you know, get the uniqueness of me, but also acknowledge that, like all human beings, I'm a complex human being, and I'm more than just one thing, and you don't have to label me as one thing, but I don't have to deny a bunch of parts of me to make you comfortable with the other parts of me. I don't have to do that, and I shouldn't have to do that, and I shouldn't make anybody else do that, you know, and stuff. So my thought in the end about colorblind is that people should stop using the word, but I know they're not, you know. I want people to be able to celebrate all the things that are different and unique about them, and to know, and the one thing I know that if I ever have a child is to teach them that different does not mean bad. It just means different, okay? You know, and there's a lot of other stuff that you have to judge a person on before you figure out whether that is somebody that you want to have in your life or not have in your life, you know, and stuff. We're human beings. We're a lot more complex than, you know, that any of us try to ever acknowledge about one another, you know, and stuff. And so I think that's the great thing about us being human and being unique. It makes us complex. And even though we may not even share the same cultures or share the same racial background or ethnic background or religion or, you know, share the same language and stuff, our uniqueness makes us really great, but it also can bring about commonality for us if we know how to do it in the correct way. So I would suggest that you just acknowledge people for who they are, you know, and stuff, and stop trying to make everybody comfortable for you. All right, so that's my little talk for today, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.